My dad always loved boxing. He boxed at a young age. Never like done it as a career, but always enjoyed boxing. He's always watched boxing. Yeah, so had my first, I think, skills bout when I was literally just turned 10, and they just made the rule so that you had to be 10.
Going on
100%. You know, some of the best in-house sparring you can possibly get. So.
Hi guys, it's Andy here from FighterstalkTV, and I'm with an up-and-coming legend. How are you doing?
No, I'm good, thank you. Very good.
So you've got your fight coming up with Matchroom in 2 weeks' time, and it's got to be arranged on the Matchroom website. So I'll let you tell them who the folks at home who it is, but don't worry, it won't go out for 2 days.
No, yeah. So I'm fighting a lad from the Czech Republic called I believe his name is Radek Rusal. He's got 5 wins, 1 loss. He's won his last 5. You know, so he's going to come to fight, and I'm looking forward to seeing how the night goes.
Okay, and obviously we spoke off camera. This one we hope lasts more than sort of about 120 seconds last time out under the Sonny Edwards card. Well, look, I don't look to get them out there early. It just kind of happens. I can't. I feel like the longer I try to take it and box smart, the quicker they go. So. Well, George, Eddie's always the one that says you don't get paid for overtime, right? In, out, job done. Job done. So, what we like to do is sort of find out where it begins. Every fighter's story is different, and I want them to sort of experience what you've experienced. So, where did your fighting start? My dad always loved boxing. He boxed at a young age. Never like done it as a career, but always enjoyed boxing. He's always watched boxing. So it was kind of destined, to be honest. I've got pictures of me with gloves on from 6, 7 years old. But I started at Billericay Boxing Club in Lake Meadows when I was about, how old was I? I was very young. I was only like 8 turning 9. And just fell in love with the sport, to be honest. I was a shy kid. You could say there was times like everyone, when you're a kid, you got picked on and that. So kind of went to boxing to get a bit of confidence at first, and just fell in love with it. And I clearly had a bit of natural talent, coming from a family that loved boxing. Just cracked on from there, and done good things since. It sounds wonderful. So talk to us about your amateur career. How did that go? Where did you fare in it? What was the result? Obviously we know what the result is. You signed with Matchroom, 3 fights, 3 wins, 3 KOs. Wonderful start to a pro career. But tell me about your amateur background. Yeah, so had my first, I think, skills bout when I was literally just turned 10, and they just made the rule so that you had to be 10 to have skills bouts. It was like quite a new thing, and I cracked on with it. I won a lot of fights, I won 4 national titles. And I always see the amateurs as, it's kind of your apprenticeship, like when you have a job, you do an apprenticeship before you go into that role. And the amateurs is your apprenticeship, you're learning on the job. And obviously the end goal is, for most fighters, to be signed by a big promotional team. And so for some fighters, they want to go on GB, Olympics. That wasn't really my route. There was times I looked at it, but just with timings and things, it just wouldn't have worked out right for me. But I think now, developing this pro style, it really is suiting me. And I'm really enjoying merging into a pro. So tell me about how it came about with Eddie and Matchroom over there. I mean, obviously we're all Essex boys in here, but is that why? Or? So Tony Sims, how it first started is Tony Sims texted me. He wanted me to come down for some sparring with John Ryder and Felix Cash for their respective fights. I think it was when John boxed Danny Jacobs and Felix boxed some Russian fella. I don't remember his name. But obviously I was there sparring for their last week in their camp. I'd just come off holiday, funnily enough, so I wasn't in the best shape. But it happened from there, really. And I spoke to Kev Mitchell was there because Tony was actually at the gym at the time. I think he had just a little patch of illness. I said to Tony, I'd love to eventually turn pro, maybe even this year, towards the end of the year, because this was in the February last year. And he said, come down, see how you get on, come along, train with us. And I've been there since. And obviously Tony, good friends with Eddie, and we are the Matchroom Elite Gym, so it was only right for me to obviously get signed by Matchroom and start boxing on their shows. Yeah, it also gives you the likes of some of the Matchroom other fighters that are there. Got a great stable going on there. 100%. Some of the best in-house sparring you can possibly get. So training on the job, isn't it, really? Literally. And earning those stripes. So talk about your fight coming up. I mean, the preparations. One thing that we do at FTTV is we want to sort of go in and look from a fighter's perspective. Tell me about what your average training day was like, getting ready for this fight. Everyone hears, we go into camp for 6 weeks, we're going for 9 weeks, 12 weeks. Depends obviously how many fights you have in a year. If you're on like 6 fight a year, or if you want to be like Mike Tyson, do 15 in 1 year. I mean, he just didn't come out of training camp, did he? But what's the average day for George on his Yeah, so I've had kind of back-to-back camps, you know, boxing in, I think it was June the 10th, my last fight, so not much of a rest really, you know, straight back into camp. I had a long gruelling camp for that fight. I think.
Well,
it was
I know you're telling lies. Oh, do you know? I know you're telling lies. You came up to me after the fight, said I'm going on holiday tomorrow.
I did. No. I'll tell the truth. I did go on holiday. I did go to Turkey, but the training didn't stop.
You were training out there?
2-3 runs while I was out there. Full 30 degree heat. It was tough, you know. Just a few runs, and I was walking like ridiculous amount of steps every day. Like I was looking, thinking, and to be honest, my weight, I come back all right. I'd been eating quite a bit, but where I'd been doing all that active stuff, my weight, I come back fine, which was what me and my nutritionist and strength and conditioning coach planned. And then, because the goal was, I was meant to be looking at fighting July 29th. So I knew in the back of my mind, even though I was going on holiday, I was like, I need to stay switched on here. I can't just relax. So I didn't really relax properly. But then obviously got moved to August 12th. Which was just recently announced, but obviously I had known that I was boxing on it for a little bit longer. And yeah, about I think it'd be 6 weeks by the time I fight. I've been back in training. You don't really lose fitness from a week though, you know. So I've been fit the whole camp, just pushing to new levels.
Well, I did. I went to the US last week. I got completely unfit.
The US is different. I've seen that. I've been there. They're breakfast buffets. Yeah, it's hard to come back. It's hard to come back fit from there.
Oh, that's it. I mean, so. Fighting on an AJ White undercard, that must be really good for you. I mean, we were with you last time on Edwards Campos undercard, but you know, it gives you that whole different platform, pay-per-view platform. Do you know what I mean? It's that 100%. next level. What's Eddie said to you about that? About getting your mind in preparation for that?
Not too much, to be honest. For me, like, it's a big show, and everyone always keeps saying that to me. No, it's great, and I'm very thankful for the opportunity. But for me, it is, you know, it's another fight. I've got to get the business done, and that is it. You know, I've got to look good doing it, regardless of the cameras. What I like about it is, you know, it's potentially a new audience that might see me, and you know, it'd be good to put on a good performance for them, and hopefully pick up some more fans along the way, which is very important in this game. You know, it is a fan sport, and you know, you've got to be entertaining. So that's why I always look for an explosive performance. But yeah,
that always is. That's going to help add market value, isn't it? That's
exactly.
What it is. Or I think Eddie calls it stock. Increasing your stock. Yeah. So I think, you know, from our point of view, we really enjoyed watching it last time out. The explosiveness. You did take your time, albeit 120 seconds, but you did take time, pick your punches to perfection, and got him out of there. Done the job. What do you see in the fight to come? Do you think he's going to be a little bit tougher than that? Are you want to get some rounds in the bank, or you like, hang on, I just want this dude gone, I want him out of there, listen, I'm going out 8:30, I want to be back by 8:45. Do you know what I mean? That's how it is. That includes ring walk and talking to Eddie for a while.
I'm sure, like, record wise, you know, he looks tougher on paper. You know, a big Muay Thai background. He might be tougher, you know, but at the end of the day, he's another man. He bleeds the same I bleed, he breathes the same I breathe. And I genuinely believe when I'm on my form, which I will be, I can't see him lasting 6 rounds with me. I just genuinely can't. But I want to take my time, you know. At the end of the day, I've not been back to the corner much to the pro yet. I think the most I've done is 2.5 rounds. And that was because I had COVID. No excuses, but you know, I think I'd have got him out of there a bit quicker. But
because I had COVID,
but I didn't know at the time. I didn't get in the ring knowing I had COVID. I found out after. But yeah, you know, like, I don't go in there with the goal of getting them out there quick. I think when you do that, that's when you end up doing the rounds, because you blow yourself out in the first or second. You go all guns blazing. They see everything coming. When you take your time, the shots just present themselves, and if you can find them and land them right, it's an early night.
Yeah, absolutely. And we were talking before off camera with a good friend of yours who's sitting over there. I won't tell the world who she is, Claire. And one interesting fight factor about you, Jules, that not a lot of people are going to know is you're right-handed but fight southpaw.
No, sorry, that was Tom.
Oh, it was Tom.
No,
Ignore
I'm orthodox.
Ignore her. We'll cut that.
I'm a bit ambidextrous though. That's one thing you can know about me. I can't write my left hand, no, but I play pool with my left hand. I eat left-handed. Yeah, and I naturally think power-wise, I have as much power on my left as I do my right. So that is an interesting fact that you can.
Look, so we got
I've
it wrong.
saved the show there, haven't
You did. My fault. It's my fault. Well, we're going to leave all that blooper stuff in. Do you know why? Because people don't believe all this stuff is real. So I think, and it would be great to follow you throughout your career. It'd be even wonderful to come train with you for a little while.
That'd be great.
You can beat the crap out of me or Max, it's fine. I mean, Max is going to get a slap from Tyson Fury when he sees what he just done. But but it would be really great. We wish nothing for the best for you. The only one thing I'd say, we all see people in embarrassing situations, and how does it feel to wear that West Ham shirt?
Oh, man, I wear it with pride.
It's only because we're Arsenal fans and we've just nicked the Rice. No, I tell you what, my brother's a big West Ham fan, and you can't hate the Arsenal retirement ground.
I've got to say as well, the Hammers, good supporters, always very good.
Do you know
supporters.
what?
Get behind our own men. So.
We was following them. We were giving them all the best and all the best wishes in the world when they went to lift that cup. Great bit of entertainment there, and the fans are diehard fans, 100%. Isn't it? So
they do really get behind their people. So
yeah, absolutely. I mean, I know we're Arsenal fans, but we don't hate on West Ham. We don't even hate on Tottenham because they're nothing to worry about. But there it is. So good luck for them for the season coming up, and look forward to following your career. And really. Thank you very much for coming into our studio.
Thanks for your time. I really appreciate it.
It's been great. The only thing we've got left to ask you, we have our Legends Wall behind us. If you could be anyone, who would you be?
Legends Wall.
So Steve Collins, Ricky Hatton, Frank Bruno. You've got Nigel Benn, obviously who you know through
it's
Connor.
Got to be Nigel, isn't it?
I haven't finished yet. You've got the legend in the middle there, Sir Henry Cooper with Muhammad Ali, Tony Bellew, Tyson Fury, and obviously Iron Mike Tyson. If you could be any one of them, who would it be?
I'm a big fan of Frank Bruno as well. Obviously, Essex boy, and he's lives in Essex now. So, big fan of Frank Bruno. For me, though, Nigel Benn, it's just his ferociousness. You know, he's just animalistic. You know, the way he fights.
And let me tell you, he ain't changed much. We were down TW1 the other day, and he's an absolute unit.
He is, and the way he trains at his age. I remember we was out in the Isle of Wight, and we did about a 5-6 mile run through these like hills, and I'm saying big hills, and he did it, after not running for months. So I admire his work ethic, and definitely
a great legend of British boxing there, and
100%.
We had the pleasure of talking to him once again. George, thanks very much for coming in.
I really appreciate it.
One more thing you've got to do for us is sign one of our gloves so it goes 100%. Up here on our title.
Cool.
This is Andy from Fighters Talk TV with the legend in making, George Liddard.
Thank you.
What we like to do is sort of find out where it begins. Every fighter's story is different, and I want them to sort of experience what you've experienced. So where did your fighting start? What do you see in the fight to come? Do you think he's going to be a little bit tougher than that? Are you want to get some rounds in the bank, or you like, hang on, I just want this dude gone. I want him out of there. Listen, I'm going out 8:30. I want to be back by 8:45. Do you know what I mean? That's how it is. That includes ring walk and talking to Eddie for a while. What's the average day for George on his?
Yeah, so